So I've been guiding for now nearly 21 years ago. Now the Khumbu is big change. So the number of the tourism and the climate change. The climate change next very different. I remember when I was young, so we have a heavy winter and much of snow in Khumbu where I live. But now every year, not right time winter, not right time monsoon, so the less snow and the heavy rains, in the end of the seasons.
My father is from Khumbu village in the Khumbu. I myself am a mountaineer and I work most of the time in the Khumbu. As a Sherpa, my main concern with climate change is in the mountains, and in particular the melting of the ice is very scary to me. For example, when I'm climbing myself, I see a lot of changes, and I can also compare the changes to my friends, many of them older Sherpas, about the changes in the Himalayas, in particular about the melting of the glaciers. Most importantly, the supply of water, which the glaciers provide, and also the danger of the glacial lakes.
I was involved in Sherpa, a network of Khumbu Sherpa students. I was selected as a British Council climate champion. One of the important issues of Nepal, the glacier melting and glacier lake outburst flood, is causing a big problem in Khumbu region. We have a lake called Imja Lake, which is located on 5,010 meters. And the research from ICIMOD and other INGO has done that, said that it will be outburst because of the climate changes. So we people from Khumbu are threatened by these issues, but we don't know how directly affected us this. So I did a workshop and awareness program in 10 villages of this region. And not only that, I did a signature campaign, and I collected from students to all the local people from Khumbu region to draw the attention of government to the policy maker. Indigenous people are not in a government level. Very less people are there. They said like it's improving. Even in constitution, they will give a priority to indigenous people. But we have to see how it works in future.
अनि अहिले खतराको चाहिँ यो छ अनि यो चाहिँ अहिले 2008 सेन्टरमा आएको चाहिँ यो बाटा र अहिले घुजुम्बा ग्लेसियर सबभन्दा खतरा यो पनि त हो तर यो चाहिँ अब धेरै तगडा छ भनौँ न अहिलेसम्म केही अहिले चाहिँ केही क्षति गरे पनि छैन भनेको अहिले जति पनि क्षति गर्छ यो बाटो हो कि यो नाको चङ पनि छ नि.
So I think not only focusing on Imja, we have to focus on other glaciers of Khumbu region as well.
Every year, the small glaciers coming down, what to say, Glove. That's the problem. Not from the Imja Lake. Again.
All the reporters, all the INGO, just stay on a safe side, If anybody asks what the proof you have, then they have only proof on Imja Lake, because they have a monitoring system. They have a satellite picture from since 1960, so they have a scientific data on this lake. People are afraid with this issue, but sometimes we feel like it is making a propaganda only. If people think, if the researcher, if the INGO think that this will cause the problem in Khumbu region, then they should find the solution for us as well.
Actually, in the beginning of the study, we don't think about the climate change. Just we try to do the mapping of the whole glaciers in the HKH region. And during our study, we found the glaciers are melting faster and the lakes are growing as well. So then we think, oh, it might be due to the global warming. Then we went back to try to find out the old image and old photographs. Then we found those lakes are growing rapidly only after 1960s. Before 1960s, most of the lakes are in the frozen condition. It is in the state of the glacier. Then we realize, it might be due to the global warming. Unless and until if it is not warm, then the glacier will not melt, then the lake will not form.
This is Thamseko, Mount Thamseko. So I remember the 20 years, more than 20 years before, there are much snow. Now you can see here all the rock face, this side. Only a little snow on the top, near the summit. And before the glacier is more bigger, or I mean the ice. So now the ice moving up, the only rock, the moraine coming down. All the mountains around here are all sacred, but now the Nepal government allowed to climb for the foreigners and other people. But normally in all the mountain has their spiritual, and we Sherpa people still believe the mountain is God. You see, no snow in this face. Normally this is the south face, the west face. Supposed to be a lot of snow, but all melting. It is too sad, huh?
अलिकति हिटको कारणले अलिकति छिटो घाँस चाहिँ पलाउने भएकोले घाँसको चरणमा चाहिँ अलिकति प्रोग्रेस छ घाँस छिटो पलाउने हैन कोराको चरणमा चाहिँ अलिकति हरियो घाँस पाउने चाहिँ सुविधा छ प्रभाव त परेको छ नि किनभने ग्लोबल वार्मिङको कारणले गर्दा अलिकति मास्तिर अब आइसहरु बढी पक्लिने हैन त्यसले गर्दा अब बर्खामा चाहिँ बढी पहिरो आउने सम्भावना भएको कारणले अलिकति लोकल जनताहरु चाहिँ अलिकति त्रसित छन् हैन चेन्ज त छ नि किनभने अब पहिले कति चिसो हुन्थ्यो हिउँ देख्न पाइन्थ्यो अहिले त अब पिउनै पर्दैन हैन हिमालतिर हिउँ देखिँदैन हैन सुक्खा छ चेन्ज छ
So this was a big flood. 1985, the Dikcho Glacier Lake was outburst, so it destroyed all this flood. So the old trail before 85, the old trail is other side, along the other side, but it was all washed out by the flood, by the Glacier Lake.
Once the Dikcho Gulf in the Everest region, it burst out in 1985, and it washed out the new, almost completed Namche micro hydro power project, almost totally washed out. 30 houses and 10 bridges, and about 5 people died by that incident. Then after the professionals and the planners of Nepal, they realized now we need to study about the glacial lakes.
We are going to Khumbu for tonight. So the Khumbu is 3,790 meters, and the Khumbu is one of the biggest Sherpa settlement. I grew up there. I like, I born there, and I like everything in Khumbu. All the environment, is so clean. Yeah. So, this is nice place, It's a hidden valley. Eighty-six. I'm here. This is me. And then the another pictures. After that, all this my classmate. After that, I'm here. This is me.
Presently, we have around 300 children, and we have 20 teachers. And the national curriculum has prescribed 8 subjects to teach in the schools, from primary to secondary level. And they are language, Nepali language, English language, mathematics, science, environment education, health education. We teach Sherpa language too. In my opinion, they have a lot of knowledge about environment. They also can conduct some activities to preserve the environment in whatever way they can from their level. Before 20 years or 25 years, it was so cold in winter time, and we could not write on the board with our bare hands, and children could not read so nicely. And nowadays, in winter time too, it's warm here. And the effect of the climate change we can see directly in the mountains. The snow of the mountains has been melting so quickly, and the mountain looks bare and black and brown.
Is the
Japan minty.
Japan minty.
Japan minty. सब्जी में हम गए और पोस्ट मक्संग मध्य दे तमने से जमा करना.
So if we have greenhouse, then till December and January we have vegetables.
से जमा करना.
चाहिँ त अनि के अहिले पहिलाको भन्दा नि अलि डिफ्रेन्ट जस्तै छ है पानी पर्ने टाइममा पानी पर्दैन घुम्न दिनु सधैँ घुम्न दिनु चाहिँ
early planting than before. No worry. Yeah. She like warmer climate.
I personally feel that the younger generation they understand the issues better, also because the younger generation is better educated, and so they do understand the issues better and the urgency with which we have to tackle these problems. But then there's also a lot of local people who have not had the same opportunity and have a more difficult time understanding the issues. And one of the major problems also with understanding these issues is the fatalistic approach that local people have to their daily lives, very spiritual, superstitious ideas about why things are happening in nature. But the general response is more positive in terms of we have to do something about climate change rather than negative, as in to say we're just victims and we can't really do anything about it.
हिउँ नपर्ने त्यो चेन्ज हुने कारण चाहिँ अब हिमालमा हिउँ नहुने त्यस्तो त हो किनभनेदेखि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ ठुलो खोला आएको थियो कि यो माथिबाट कस्तो भने एउटा पोखरी भत्केर आयो जस्तो लाग्यो खुम्बु ग्लेसियरबाट ठुलो ग्लेसियर पक्लेर आएको हो कि या त्यो पोखरी आएको हो कालो आएको थियो कालो आएपछि अनि त्यो ढुङ्गाको मुनि पहिले ग्याबिङ लागेको थियो त्यो ठुलो ढुङ्गा पल्टेको थियो त्यो ढुङ्गा मुनि ग्याबिङ लागेको थियो अनि त्यो ग्याबिङलाई पानीले खदालेछ खदालेपछि रातको कति बजे भने रातको 11 बजे देख्नु चाहिँ हामीले दिउँसोको 2 बजेतिर देख्यो त्यो चर्केको चाहिँ अनि रातको 11 बजेतिर उदो खसेर गयो चिन्ता छ धेरै चिन्ता छ सबैले भन्छ माथि के रे इम्जा आउँछ कि आउँछ भन्दै थियो त्यसको लागि धेरै चिन्ता छ यो किनभने त्यो आयो भने जस निकै नै प्रब्लम निकै नै ठुलो समस्या पर्छ भनेर धेरैले गरेको थियो पिर परिरहेको छ
this insect so I never seen like this before, in this time, but this year a lot of we seen on the trail. So every time I walk down, I just look, because I'm Buddhism, I never kill any animal or any insect, so I carefully walk because it's dead, it's a lot of in the trails. Not normal, huh? It's many.
यसपालि चाहिँ कस्तो भने मैले त रुख बिरुवामा बटरफ्लाई देखेँ यसपालि मात्र धेरै आएर देखेको छु
See the butterfly on the trees, he saw the first time here, in this time, When I was a schoolboy, it's from the Hindus book, we have to learn, we say that is the subject of moral. We have to learn from this, this book, this textbook. The world is, like a boiling, there are 7 sun coming, sunshine, very warm, and all the earth went, in the ash. So nobody can live here in the end of the era. And then next, the new era is becoming. Something say like that, So you see here, around the corner, there's Narig Valley. So there are big glacier We call that is Khumbu Glacier, and it was burst out 1977.
The Himalayas are the water towers of Asia, and 10 of the major rivers of Asia actually start in the Himalayas. So yes, the water that is melting from the ice in the Himalayas actually goes into these rivers, so a lot of people are dependent on the water. So basically it's not just the local people that live in the mountains that are going to be affected in the near future, but also all the people that live further downstream.
At a certain time or at a certain threshold, the mass balance will be decreased. Then after we will have the scarcity of the water supply, or the water runoff will be reduced after some year. But still we don't know after when.
With this in mind, it is actually an issue that should be taken up not only by the local people or by the national government of Nepal, but rather it should be taken up regionally and perhaps even addressed globally, because when a few billion people have shortages of water, it's going to be a huge problem on a global scale.
I run lodge. Sometimes I do the trekking guide also, but I use only ladies group. I do the guide. I've been Everest expedition in 2000. I've been 7,400 meters. Now we see lots of change the weather, because every winter we don't have snow, you know. And the summertime also not much rain. December, January, normally we have snow, frozen water things. But now we have January, December, January, very warm. They're blooming in the flower. Now we have it very cold. Now every morning we have the frozen water now. Now it's April, you know. May, today's May. But it's very unusual weather. Even the potato also not tasty, too dry, you know. And in August there's too much rain, the potatoes all dry very quickly. Then no tasty, no grow up. People has education, people worried. Like no education, they doesn't know climate change, they doesn't know. Why no snow, why no rain, why? They doesn't know it.
We are 4,365 meters, and yesterday we had suddenly snowfall, but it still is, you see the clouds over here, it's not good sign. Maybe this afternoon, maybe it will be raining, or tomorrow. And today we go to Chukung, so it's about 2.5 hours, we go to this valley. So now we're in the Imja Valley. Okay. So you see here, there are also Khumbu Glacier, and this is Nupche Glacier. So the Imja Glacier, Imja Lake, just on the corner. So we are now very close. So if the Imja Lake is outbrushed, so it will be damage for all this valley, you know, all this is swept away. Not only here, you know, it's more destroyed on the down valley, because it's, you know, if the burst, it goes like this and split like that, always. At the beginning, it's small, and then down is more bigger, so the more big shape. So
Imja Lake, it was studied by many professionals from international arena, and mostly that lake was studied by Japanese team. And in 1962, there was no existence of Imja Lake. In 1962, we can find only small supraglacial, small ponds, only 4 ponds. It was appeared in 1962. And in 1975, it merged into a single lake. Then after it has a continuous growth. Now, by 2010, it has been increased more than 1 square kilometer.
New glacier lake is, it's coming from the
Not so
glacier.
big, but
It's small.
like I think this place.
This place?
I think this year,
Okay.
new lake.
सधैँ तालहरू फुट्यो भन्दाखेरि त्यहाँदेखिको सोचमा अरू यो घरहरू चाहिँ अब म सानो सोच बस्न विचार पर्ने
यहाँ मलाई साह्रै खेर म दाससँग गसौँ गसौँ
So this is the beginning of Imja Lake. So it's around 500 meters up to the lake. So you see the river here is flow from the Imja Lake.
If the lake is expanded in a continuous way, if the channel is expanding, that means the strength is reducing all the time. Ultimately, it has to breach out. But I am sure it will not breach out in near future, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. But if there is some sort of extreme climatic condition, torrential rainfall, just like as it was happened in 1993 in Kathmandu area, if such type of torrential rainfall it occurred in that area, anytime it can breach out. The lake area has grown 0.02 square kilometer per year. It's a huge expansion. Even a single lake of a size 0.02 square kilometer, if it breach out in the mountain area, it can wash out everything. And it is still expanding. Every year it is expanding, and the outlet channel also it has increased.
And the bigger issue still remains that the glaciers are melting. With regard to our own lifetime, perhaps we won't see it, perhaps we won't see the brunt of the impact, but at least it'll happen within our children or grandchildren's time.
We're in Imja Lake. So everybody concerning, all the NGOs, they are very interesting, about the Imja Lake, about the outburst. But the people are in Khumbu, we are very, believe in the God. So they are, all the mountain, all the places are sacred lands, So people make, anything happens like make dirty or make more pollution, then the God will be not happy, and this time maybe something happens. That is our belief.